What's up, adventurers? Are you ready to discover the most extreme places on Earth, where adrenaline hits maximum levels? Today, we're exploring the 10 most dangerous destinations that, paradoxically, are perfect to experience with your best friends. But first, hit that like button if you're brave enough to visit these places. And don't forget to subscribe, because every week we bring content that will give you goosebumps. We start with the famous Yungas Road in Bolivia, also known as Death Road. Imagine a highway literally carved into a cliff wall, where the difference between getting home safe or becoming a statistic is a matter of inches. This winding trail descends from the snowy mountains of La Paz to the tropical jungle, crossing landscapes that range from 15,260 feet high to 3,937 feet. It's like traveling between two different planets in a single day. Vertical cliffs over 1,968 feet high with no safety barriers. A road barely 10.5 feet wide where only one vehicle can fit. Thick fog that appears without warning and reduces visibility to zero. More than 200 people die here every year. For decades, Bolivian drivers developed an unwritten code. Always drive on the left side on this road, contrary to the rest of the country, so the driver can see exactly how close they are to the cliff. They literally changed traffic rules for survival, because when you're descending these cliffs on a mountain hike at 37 miles per hour, you're going to need someone to document your craziness for Instagram, and also to yell brake when they see you're getting too excited. If everyone survives, you'll have the most epic story to tell at every family gathering. Welcome to Dante's Inferno in real life. Masaya is an active volcano, where you can literally walk to the edge of the crater and see a lake of lava boiling at temperatures of 1,832 degrees Fahrenheit. It's like peering into the window of the underworld. This Nicaraguan giant has been active for over 500 years. And Spanish conquistadors thought it was the literal entrance to hell. Today, you can drive to the edge of Santiago Crater, the most active of its 9 craters. Toxic gases like sulfur dioxide that can collapse your lungs. Temperatures up to 104 degrees Fahrenheit just from radiant heat. Acid rain that can burn your skin. Lava projectiles that can shoot without warning. Masaya volcano is so active that scientists have installed webcams to monitor it 24/7. You can watch the lava lake in real time from your home. But obviously, it's not the same as feeling the infernal heat on your face. It's literally the most dangerous live stream in the world. Because you need witnesses that you are actually brave or crazy enough to stand at the edge of the apocalypse. Plus, if someone faints from toxic gases, the others can drag them to safety. Teamwork has never been so literal between life and death. Welcome to the Trolltunga, a rock formation that seems to defy all laws of physics. Trolltunga is literally a piece of rock that extends horizontally from a mountain, suspended 2,297 feet above Lake Ringadelsvat, as if a giant had left his tongue hanging over the abyss. This geological wonder was formed 10,000 years ago during the Ice Age, when glaciers carved the rock to create this natural platform perfect for extreme selfies. Norwegian weather can change from sunny to deadly storm in less than 30 minutes. A 17.4-mile round-trip hike through mountainous terrain. Elevation changes of over 3,609 feet up and down. Temperatures that can drop to -4 degrees Fahrenheit without warning. Winds up to 62 miles per hour that can literally blow you away. Only accessible 4 months a year due to weather conditions. Trolltunga became world famous when social media exploded with photos of people doing yoga, marriage proposals, and acrobatics on the rock. Now there are so many people wanting the perfect photo that they've had to install specialized rescue services because people risk too much for a like. After 12 to 14 hours of brutal hiking, when you finally reach the tip of the rock, you'll understand the true meaning of brotherhood. Only a true friend accompanies you on 17.4 miles of voluntary suffering for an epic photo. Pripyat, the world's most famous ghost town and a true museum of the apocalypse. Here time stopped on April 26, 1986, when Chernobyl Reactor 4 exploded and turned this prosperous Soviet city into a post-apocalyptic scenario. Walking through Pripyat is like entering a horror video game. Abandoned toys, scattered school books, the famous Ferris wheel that never got to operate. Nature has reclaimed the streets, and wolves, bears, and lynx now patrol where 50,000 people once lived. Residual radiation that can cause cancer with prolonged exposure. Structures collapsing after 37 years of abandonment. Radioactive particles in dust that you shouldn't breathe. Wildlife that has lost its fear of humans. Due to the absence of humans, Chernobyl has paradoxically become a wildlife sanctuary. There are more animals now than before the accident. Przewalski's horses, an endangered species, were reintroduced here in 1998 and now thrive. Radiation turned out to be less harmful to wildlife than human presence. Because walking alone through a post-apocalyptic city is terrifying, but doing it with friends turns it into the most epic urban exploration of your lives. Plus, you can take turns carrying the Geiger counter and shouting high radiation when it is necessary to evacuate quickly. Don't be fooled by its modest 6,288 feet height. Mount Washington is officially the place with the most extreme weather in the Northern Hemisphere. This mountain has recorded the strongest winds ever measured by humans, 231 miles per hour, enough to lift a car off the ground. The summit of Mount Washington is where three massive weather systems collide: westerly winds, Gulf of Mexico currents, and Arctic air masses from Canada. The result is unpredictable meteorological chaos that can go from bright sunshine to deadly blizzard in less than 10 minutes. Winds that can literally launch you through the air. Temperatures that drop from 68 degrees Fahrenheit to minus 40 degrees Fahrenheit in 1 hour. Wind chill factor that can reach minus 103 degrees Fahrenheit. More than 150 recorded deaths on this small mountain. Mount Washington has its own permanent weather station at the summit, where scientists live 1-week rotations, literally chaining themselves to the structure during storms to avoid being blown away. They've recorded gusts so strong that stones fly horizontally like bullets. The world wind record was measured here in 1934 and still hasn't been surpassed. When the winds are trying to turn you into human kites, you'll be grateful to have friends holding you to the ground. It's literally like bungee jumping, but with your whole body and no safety rope. Nature as an extreme amusement park. Welcome to the most Mars-like place that exists on Earth. The Atacama Desert is so extreme that some weather stations have never recorded a single drop of rain. NASA literally uses this place to test rovers and space equipment because it is more similar to Mars than any other place on the planet. This desert extends for 40,541 square miles of pure desolation, where the combination of extreme altitude, super dry air, and intense solar radiation create an alien environment. There are areas where the soil is completely sterile, without a single living bacteria. Deadly dehydration. You lose water 3 times faster than in other deserts. Temperatures ranging from minus 13 degrees Fahrenheit to 122 degrees Fahrenheit in the same day. UV radiation so intense it can cause third-degree burns. Altitude up to 16,404 feet, causing severe altitude sickness. Total isolation. No cell signal for 124 miles around. In 2003, scientists found bacteria in Atacama that had been sleeping for over 10,000 years waiting for rain. When it finally rained that year, they woke up and started reproducing. It's literally a place where life presses pause until conditions improve. Some microorganisms here can survive without water longer than any other known life form. Because if your vehicle breaks down in the middle of Martian nowhere, you're going to need someone to walk for help while others conserve water and energy. It is like a real survival video game where every decision can be the difference between life and death. Half Dome is literally a mountain cut in half, as if a giant had used a saw to split the granite. The final climb requires ascending 394 feet on metal cables on a 60-degree rock wall. It's not technically mountaineering, but it's definitely an experience that marks you for life. This granite mass of 8,839 feet rises 4,737 feet above Yosemite Valley. Falls of over 4,593 feet high. Lightning that attracts metal cables during storms. Extreme exhaustion after 16 to 20 hours of physical effort. Dangerous congestion on cables causing accidents. Only 50% of those who attempt the climb reach the summit. The famous half-dome cables are installed only during dry season from May to October and removed in winter. Every year, maintenance teams climb carrying 440-pound cables to replace worn ones. They've calculated that each cable supports the weight of up to 50 people at the same time. Some climbers have proposed marriage at the summit, but imagine how awkward a no would be after 16 hours of hiking. You're going to need someone to push you from behind and encourage you from the front, literally. When your arms are shaking gripping those cables, with 4,593 feet of emptiness below, your friends' voices will be the only thing between you and total panic. It's group therapy in extreme version. Welcome to Superman's Fortress of Solitude, but in deadly version. The Cave of Crystals in Neka, Chihuahua, houses the largest selenite crystals ever discovered. Some measure up to 39 feet long and weigh 121,254 pounds. It's like being inside a crystal cathedral designed by aliens. This cave is located 984 feet underground in a lead and zinc mine. The crystals grew for over 500,000 years in supersaturated geothermal water. When they drained the cave in 2000, they revealed this underground world that seems taken from a science fiction movie. Constant temperature of 136 degrees Fahrenheit with 99% humidity. You can only stay 10 minutes without special refrigeration suit. Crystals sharp as razors that can cause deadly wounds. Air so loaded with minerals, it can damage your lungs. Extreme dehydration. You lose 4.2 pints of water per hour. Scientists discovered that inside these giant crystals, there are living microorganisms that have been trapped for over 50,000 years. When they freed them in the laboratory, they came back to life and started reproducing. It's like Jurassic Park, but with prehistoric bacteria. Some of these microorganisms are so unique, they could revolutionize medicine and biotechnology. Because you literally have a 10-minute timer before your body collapses from extreme heat. You need friends to time you, monitor your vital signs, and get you out of there when you start hallucinating from high temperatures. It's like a space mission, but underground. Welcome to the Amazon of the oceans, a marine region that houses 76% of all coral species in the world and 37% of all reef fish species. But this paradisiacal beauty is also home to some of the most lethal creatures on the marine planet. The Coral Triangle spans 2.3 million square miles between Indonesia, Philippines, Malaysia, Papua New Guinea, East Timor, and Solomon Islands. Its crystal clear waters hide everything from the tiny blue-ringed octopus to sea snakes, whose venom is 10 times more toxic than a cobra. Irukandji jellyfish. Transparent, fingernail-sized, kill in 30 minutes. Sea snakes with neurotoxins that paralyze in seconds. Blue-ringed octopus, whose bite can kill 26 adults. Stonefish that camouflage perfectly and have venomous spines. Underwater currents that can drag you to open sea. The Coral Triangle contains more marine species than any other ocean region, but also records more deaths from marine poisoning than anywhere else in the world. Paradoxically, the most beautiful and biodiverse waters are the most dangerous. Scientists have discovered that high biodiversity includes an evolutionary arms race where species develop increasingly potent venoms to survive. In these waters, your dive buddy can literally save your life. When a fingernail-sized irukandji jellyfish stings you, you have 30 minutes to receive medical attention. Your friends are your early warning system and rescue team. The buddy system has never been so literal between life and death. We reach number 1, the most hostile place for human life on the entire planet. Antarctica isn't just cold, it's an entire continent designed to kill you. With 98% of its surface covered by ice up to 2.5 miles thick. It's literally like being on another planet, but worse. This white continent, the size of the United States and Mexico combined, records temperatures down to minus 128 degrees Fahrenheit, winds of 124 miles per hour, and storms that can last weeks. If something goes wrong here, the nearest hospital is 2,485 miles away. No Uber, no emergency services, no Plan B. Deadly hypothermia in less than 30 minutes without adequate protection. Hidden glacial crevasses that can swallow you alive. Snow blindness that can be permanent. White storms where you can't see your own hand. Psychological isolation causing severe depression and hallucinations. In Antarctica, if you're seriously injured during the austral winter from March to October, help simply cannot arrive. Conditions are so extreme that not even planes can land. In 1999, Dr. Jerry Nielsen had to operate on herself for breast cancer using instruments dropped by parachute because it was impossible to evacuate her. She literally had to be her own surgeon for 6 months until summer came and they could rescue her. Because in Antarctica, your friends aren't just company, they're your integral survival system. They watch each other for signs of hypothermia, tie themselves together to avoid getting lost in white storms, and literally watch each other's backs to stay alive. If you survive Antarctica together, your friendship will be unbreakable forever. It's the ultimate test of brotherhood in the most extreme place on Earth. And there you have it, the 10 most dangerous places that are paradoxically perfect for strengthening friendships. Because there's nothing like facing death together to know who your true friends are. Which one would you visit first? Let me know in the comments. And remember, adventure is always better when shared. Hit like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe for more extreme content, and I'll see you in the next adventure.